It has been a few weeks since eBay announced the upcoming changes to their promoted listing policies that have gotten a lot of resellers in the reselling community very upset. And we haven't really heard too much from eBay about this in a little while, but there has been an update, and we're going to find out if we got any satisfying answers. Okay, so there's our reseller. Her name is Julie Shapiro. She has a YouTube channel called Casa Chic and also she has a lot of videos on TikTok and Instagram and other places. And somehow she was able to wrangle an interview on Zoom with Rishi Vora and Kai Mao from the eBay ad team. And in this video, they went over the policy as it stands, the changes that are coming to the policy, and they even talked a little bit about ways that you could increase your sales without even using promotions if you choose not to. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I took away from this conversation. And then after that, I'm going to head into the kitchen and pack up some orders that came in today, try to get them out before the post office closes. All right, so that interview begins with an overview of all of eBay's promotional models. There's quite a few of them, and I'm going to go over some of these things, even though I've covered it before, and I know some people don't want to see the same information repeated, so I'm sorry if it's boring, but not everyone has all of this information. People might be viewing this video who have not heard about these policies yet, so you're welcome to skip ahead a little bit if you want to, or I'm going to put a link directly to the Casa Chic video in the video description, so you can find that there if you want to watch it yourself. Okay, let's go over these promotional models. Right now, there are 4 different promotional models. The first one is general promotions, and this is the simplest one. It's basically you choose a percentage that you are willing to pay eBay for them to promote your listings a little bit more than normal. So basically you say, I'm willing to pay, let's say 5% of whatever the sale price is, and I will pay that amount when the item sells to the person who clicked on the ad. The main thing you're going to get from a general promotion is higher ranking and search results, but there are other parts to it that aren't totally clear, like Google search results and other things. eBay doesn't really make it that clear what you're getting for it, but the main thing you're getting is higher ranking and search results. Then there are some pay per click models where you will pay anytime somebody clicks on one of your listings, whether they buy the item or not. So the first one is priority promotions. Basically, like I said, if you turn that on, anytime somebody clicks on your listing, you pay a certain amount. That it's sort of like an auction system, I think. So you will say how much money you're willing to spend per day, I think, and then you'll pay if somebody clicks on your listing. It doesn't matter if they buy it or if they don't buy it. That's considered priority promotions. Then there are offsite promotions, which this is a little confusing because I think offsite promotions are included in general promotions and in pay-per-click model, the pay-per-click model of promotions, the priority promotions. So in any event, you're getting promotions off of eBay. So in Google, in other places where people might be searching for items. And then I found out in this video today of a kind of promotion that I didn't even know existed, where you can promote your entire store. So it's basically driving people to click on links that go just to your store, and then they can search within the store to find what they want. I did not even know this existed. So it's interesting that I'm only finding out about it now. But those are the 4 ways: general promotions, priority promotions, offsite promotions, and then promotion of your entire store. It takes them about 22 minutes to get to what the new policy actually is. So if you're watching that video and if you know all this information already, you can skip forward 22 minutes and get to what the changes are going to be. So basically, this is how it's going to go. For general promotions, that is normally if somebody clicks on your listing and then buys it, you pay a percentage. Right now, it's going to change in January, on January 13th, to be if somebody clicks on your listing, then for the next 30 days, if anybody anybody, whether they clicked on your ad or not, buys that item, then you're still going to pay the percentage that you chose. It doesn't matter how the eventual buyer found that listing, as long as at least one person clicked on your advertisement in 30 days, you will still get charged for that fee. The other thing that's changing is for priority promotions. That's one of the more expensive cost per click models. That is the change for that is going to be the highest level search result. The very first search result will always be um, exclusively saved for someone who is choosing priority promotions. So if you're doing general promotions, you're never ever going to get the top spot in search results because that spot will be saved for the priority promotions. Those are the two big changes. The general promotion is changing and the priority promotion is changing. So Casa Chic, the YouTube channel that is hosting this interview, is run by a seller named Julie Shapiro, and she's asking these guys some questions. So she asks just flat out, why is eBay making this change? Why are they doing this? And I don't think they have a great answer. They basically say, no, there's no one else in any kind of marketplace that offers an advertising model where you only pay if you make a sale. They're saying you basically pay for an ad, whether the ad works or it doesn't work, you're still paying for it. They claim that there are no marketplaces whatsoever that do this. So basically, what they're saying is we've been offering a better product to our sellers than our competitors. And now we want to get in line with what they're doing. So we're downgrading our service to be closer to other companies. I think this is a bad look. It's just basically saying we want our service to be crappier and more expensive because that's what everybody else does. They also make a few other questionable claims. Like they say that this change is just bringing this change that's coming in January is just bringing the US and Canada in line with all of the rest of the countries that have eBay sites. And so those right now that are already under this questionable promotional policy model, Germany, Italy, the UK, Australia, and Spain, I think. And so they say these places have already been doing this exact same thing, and we just need to get the US and Canada, the North Americans, into line with everybody else. But what they don't say is that this is a new policy for those countries too. It's these policies have only been in place. I think the first country was Germany, went in place in June, and then these other it's November now, so this is only like five or 6 months, probably less than 6 months since it went in place in Germany, and then the other countries have come in since then. So it's questionable to say we're trying to get them in line with what's happening in other countries because it's clear they wanted to get this to happen across the board, and they were testing the waters in the other countries to see how it would go before they introduce it into the bigger market, America, the United States, obviously the biggest market. So that's a pretty dubious claim. Another claim that they make is that this new model is simpler for sellers, that right after this you won't have to worry about how you received these sales if it came from your promoted listing through attribution, like direct attribution, or through halo attribution. So I don't know if we need to get into this, the difference. Well, okay, let's just quickly do it. So this is how it works right now. There's direct attribution for your general promotions. That's very self-explanatory. It just means a person clicked on your link and then they bought that item. The advertising link was directly responsible for the person buying the item. Then they have something called halo attribution, which is basically means if, let's say, somebody comes into your shop through a promoted link, they decide they don't want to buy the item that they clicked on, but they might buy something else in your shop that is also promoted. So even though they got to that second link organically, since they got to the first link through a promotion, they're still going to charge you for the promotional fee. Neither one of these is very controversial, seems fine. The problem really is that they're claiming that now it will be simpler because you don't have to worry, did it come from direct attribution or halo attribution? But they don't tell you that now. Like you just get a thing that says you were charged your the percentage that you chose. It doesn't tell you if that how you got there. So this is not making it simpler for sellers in any way whatsoever. It's a little bit of a tangent, but they also suggested that the best, like potentially the best percentage that you should choose when you are making a listing and you want to include promotion is the one that eBay suggests. And they say basically that eBay does the math and figures out however other many people are promoting at what level, and that you should choose that amount because now yours will be the top level, the highest percentage, and not too much higher. So it's like they're basically saying if you choose this amount, you'll get the best promotion. This amount that they suggest, you will get the best promotion without overpaying for it. Now, I mean, there's no way for you to know whether they're just telling you, we want you to pay 20% or we want you to pay 15%. We think that's best if they're lying or not to just get the most money out of you. It's questionable. They talk a lot in this video about how your promotions are not the only thing that controls whether buyers see your listings or not. And also, even if you promote, your listings may not be seen by buyers based on basically the quality of your listing. So um, if you have a good quality listing, which I'll talk about later, you're gonna get higher ranking, even maybe than somebody who's paying a higher percentage of promotions than you, but maybe they have a bad quality listing. They also suggest, and this is a suggestion that I've heard a lot of eBay YouTube people talking about, and I've read people suggesting to do this, and it makes sense to me that using promotions on something very unique in your shop that you don't have a lot of competition for is probably a waste of a promotion. And so then these guys confirmed it, that you probably should only use promotions on items that have a high level of competition, where maybe there are 1,000 similar items listed right now. You want to rise to the top of that, so you might promote here. And the example that they give is running shoes. One of them says, there's going to be a lot of running shoes and you want to be the one that stands out, so you want to promote. The other guy gives an example of when not to promote, and his example is a very rare vintage Pokemon card. And he says if there are less than a dozen sellers selling the exact same item at the same quality, the same condition, then promoting it will be a waste of money because a buyer is going to not have that many search results to search through in order to find the item that they're looking for. So they go on a lot about how their system, the algorithm, uses a combination of factors, like many factors, when choosing which search results are shown to shoppers, and that promotions is just one of those variables. So basically, like I was saying earlier, if you have a high quality listing, you can still stand out even if you don't promote. And if you are promoting, then it's going to raise your listing up higher in the search results if you have like a really great title that has a lot of keywords that buyers are actually searching for. If you have clear photos of your item and a good number of photos. I think they say at least 3 photos. I would recommend at least 7 on anything. If you have a good description, I was surprised they said that because I'm under the impression that descriptions are not included in search results unless the buyer chooses. They have to hit a search box, they have to click a little box to say include descriptions. So I don't put too much effort into my descriptions, but maybe I should. They also say, having good use of the item specifics fields, there's a whole bunch of those that can help you with your with showing up higher in search results. All of these things can be better. Doing a good job of these things can be better than promoting, is basically what they say. If you're promoting a low quality listing, it's not going to show up. If you're not promoting a very high quality listing, it's more likely to show up. Also, seller reputation is one of the variables. So if you are a very new seller and you don't have a history of many sales, they don't know if they can trust you or not. If you're a trustworthy seller, those listings might not show up. Or if you're a problematic seller, if you have a high return rate or a lot of item not described cases, Your listings could be backburnered until you fix your rating, even if you are paying for promotions. So Julie Shapiro did ask them some direct questions that are pretty commonly, I've seen these questions a lot in my comments and in other video comments. And some things are just kind of assumed to be true, and some things that are just asking questions. So she asked these questions and she did get some pretty direct answers for some of them. So she basically asked, if you choose to not promote, will your listings be hidden? And they said the short answer is no. And then they went on to clarify a little bit that there are instances and pretty common instances where if you create a listing that it might not show up to anybody searching for the item that you're selling. So like I was saying earlier, if you have a bad listing, it's not going to show up as high in search results. If you have a very short title that doesn't like maybe you just put the title Nike shoes, that's not going to show up unless you describe the size, whether it's men's, the model number, the name of it, the width, everything that you would put in a title normally. If you just put shoes, you're probably not going to show up. There are also a lot of things that they call algorithmically irrelevant. So those things could be, they don't really go into this in detail, but I have heard people talking about this before. So like for instance, if you live in California and the buyer lives in New York, the shipping cost on your item could be so expensive that they will not even consider buying it. And the algorithm might know that and just decide, if the shipping is too high, don't even bother showing it. Like, don't show anything to somebody who is not going to buy it. It's just a waste of time. Um, so basically, any listing that is deemed to be not algorithmically relevant may not ever be seen by someone who is searching. Another question that's come up quite a lot is, what about curiosity clicks? This is the term that they used today. I haven't heard that term before. What I had heard before was no intention to purchase clicks. So that would be like, for instance, if I'm a seller and I have something to sell, I might be doing research to figure out what this item I have is worth, what the condition has to say about the price. And I could be looking at your listing to make these decisions for my listing. And I have no intention of ever buying your item, but I could click into your promoted listing. And then she wanted to know, will sellers be charged for these clicks? And again, the short answer is yes. A person with no intention of buying your listing, if they click on your listing, that will trigger the ad and you will be charged the promotional fee if somebody buys that item within the next 30 days. So they said they're going to ask their team to look into this to see how often this thing comes up, that maybe it's not even something to be concerned about. I mean, I'm pretty sure it comes up pretty often. I know most people who sell on eBay seriously are basing their listing on somebody else's. So they're clicking on links all the time of items that they have no intention of ever buying. The next thing that she asked was, what about malicious clicks? So this could be if you have a competitor who wants to just raise your cost of doing business, and so they're clicking on all of your listings just with the intention of forcing you to pay more for a promoted listing. They said there's basically no current way to address this, and they're going to ask their engineers to look into it. This question came up at a virtual seller meeting a couple weeks ago. I made a video about that recently. And they basically had the same answer then, that they're going to look into it. They're going to ask their engineers to look into it. So Julie basically, I think she did a pretty good job. She ended this discussion by just calling to their attention that the reseller community is not happy about this, that it does not feel like a fair and ethical system that eBay is putting into place, and asked them to give suggestions on how sellers or anybody in the eBay community could reach out to them to express their displeasure. They said there's many ways that you can send in messages to eBay, and that they do take all those things into consideration, but that you should be aware that there are a lot of messages on the list, and yours might not show up that quickly. So they suggested heading to the community boards on eBay and discussing your issues there, that everything that gets discussed there is brought to the attention of the person in the department that handles it. I think those community boards are basically worthless. I mean, for me, they are. The technology is outdated, and those message boards, like, you cannot look at them on a phone. They're not mobile friendly. So if you want to look at that, you've got to be zooming in and out. This is one of the things that if eBay wants to raise their fees, they need to be offering a higher quality service, and making those message boards usable for everyone is going to go a long way towards doing that. So they brought up those community boards. They also brought up Reddit and social media. And they said, once something gets to a level where it's being talked about a lot on social media, that it definitely reaches the ears of the staff at eBay. So after watching this video, I had a few questions. And the first one that comes to mind to me is, why isn't eBay putting any media professionals onto this story? Like, these guys, Rishi and Kai, are obviously very intelligent and they're well spoken and they know what they're talking about, but they are definitely not, well, how do I say it? Like, I'm having trouble saying this because I'm not a media professional, but they don't know how to say things to people. They're not getting their point clear. They talk a lot about the technology and the methods that you can use for advertising, but they're just not great at speaking to the public. They use a lot of jargon and sometimes like insider terms that we don't even use. It's clear they're talking a lot with people on staff and at all times discussing things in a certain way. So, for instance, on at least one occasion, Julie Shapiro asked them for clarification when they were talking about CPC over and over again, which is cost per click. If you don't know that, there's no way you can know that. And those guys should be aware that they're talking to a general audience, not someone in a conference room at work. They use terminology that is not the official terminology that's used on the eBay site or app. For instance, multiple times, both of these two guys mention filling out the item attributes. So on the website and on the app, it's called item specifics. So I was capable, I knew what they were talking about from context, that they're talking about fill out the item specifics, but it's not called item attributes. So I don't know why they called it that so many times. And if they're using that terminology in-house, then why not just change it for the public so that we're all on the same page? At least 5 times they talked about ROAS. So this is an acronym that some people may know, but many people would not know, that ROAS stands for return on ad spend. So they're talking about, you have to do the research, make sure that you are looking at your statistics, and that if you're using promoted listings, you're getting a good ROAS. I guarantee 50% of the people watching this video would not understand what they're talking about. And then that kind of leads me to the next question. Like, 50% of these people is how many people? So they say they are talking to Julie because they are aware of what's happening on social media and they want to reach out to people on social media to get their message across. So why are they speaking to Casa Chic? I mean, no offense to Julie Shapiro. I think she did a great job on this video, and I'm happy that it happened. But her YouTube channel has just about 1,400 followers when I watched this video. And at that time of my viewing, it only had like less than 400 views on it. So that's not very many for what is right now probably one of the hottest topics for eBay related YouTube. So she has very few videos on her YouTube channel. She does have a higher profile on TikTok, where I think she has like 25 or 26,000 followers. And she has some Instagram followers, Facebook followers, all of this stuff. She also has a website where she offers reselling courses on how to source for inventory and how to do eBay consignment. And that's not my favorite thing for a way. I don't love it when eBay or other types of resellers are offering courses. I get it, they're trying to make a living, but it's not for me, and I don't think it's a good look. Anyway, I think she did do a good job. She asked a few tough questions, and she brought out a few bits of information that were new to me. She definitely asked them to clarify things that were not clear when they were talking about it. So I highly recommend, check out the whole video. I'm going to post it in the description, and you'll be able to just watch this video. It is like an hour and 20 minutes long. That's one of the reasons why I want to make this video, is to try to just condense it, even though I feel like I've been going on for a while, and I'm sure you feel the same. So that's it for now. That's everything that I got from this video. So thanks for paying attention. Right now, I'm going to go into the kitchen and I'm going to get today's orders packed up. I need to get that out quickly because the post office is about to close. Okay, so it is after 1. And the post office closes at 2:30, and I really want to get all this stuff out today, even though technically I don't have to, but some of this stuff, like right here, this is a turkey costume, and it is probably for Thanksgiving, so I want to get that shipped. I mean, Thanksgiving is only like 4 days away, so the chances of that arriving are already slim. If I don't get them out today, there's no way it's going to get there on time. So I'm going to grab a few boxes, and then I'll come back and get all this stuff packed. All right, I'm trying to figure out which of these things is going to be most convenient to get done first. And I think I'm going to try to get this turkey costume done first, just in case I don't have enough time to get everything done. At least this can go out today. I'm going to have to run to the post office pretty quickly. So let's not waste a lot of time. We're just going to try to do this. And I'm not sure if this is going to fit in this box or not. It's probably a little bit too big, but it is just fabric, so it should be able to compress. And hopefully I can get it in here. All right, it's in this bag, and the bag has air in it, so it's not allowing it. There it goes. So I just put a little hole in the plastic bag, and that will hold it in place. So yeah, that's good. I might, let me see. Oh, it's fine. I was going to put a piece of cardboard in there to act as a shield in case somebody was cutting it with a knife and they were going to cut directly into the costume, but the inside flaps cover it up pretty well. So, all right, turkey. Let's get my scale ready. This weighs exactly 2 pounds. This box is 9 by 9 by 9, and it's going to go to... It's gonna go to HC in Indiana. So that's pretty close. It should make it on time, I hope. All right, let's go here. This is a camera, Vivitar camera. It's brand new in the box, but it's not a sought after camera. I think I had this listed for like $24 or something like that. And then I put it on, I've got a sale running right now, so it would have been 20% off. I think it was like $18 and some change. And the buyer sent an offer of $16. And then I was like, I mean, it's already on sale, but I do want to get rid of it. It's been here since March of 2024. So it's pretty old item for me. So I wanted to get rid of it. And so but I didn't want to sell it for $16. It's a nicer camera than that. And I don't like taking offers on things that are already on sale. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So I did not accept their offer, but I sent them another offer, a counter offer. I think it was just like $18 even. They sent me a $16 offer. I sent an $18 offer. They countered back with $17, and I'm like, I really don't want to sell it for $17, but I want to sell it. So $17, it's going out the door. It came from a garage sale and I paid $3. No, it came from the Goodwill and I paid $3 for it. So, you know, $17, not really a great profit off a $3 item, but we're never going to get it. It's been sitting around for a year and a half. It's a long time. So it's got to go, and now it's gone. So it weighs 15 ounces, so less than a pound. That's good. 9 by 7 by 4, and it's going to it's going to a camera shop in New York. So if somebody's going to sell this, fine. Okay, I have a few vintage Craftsman sockets here. This didn't sell for much, maybe like $9, $10, $9.99. I'm just going to put it in an envelope. I like to put a sheet of cardboard in these envelopes, especially if I'm going to do something a little bit bumpy, like it'll keep a flat section on the package where I can stick a label. And I guess it gives a little extra protection, although some of these, you know, these cast metal sockets, they don't need much in the way of protection. They don't even need a bubble wrap. I mean, a bubble mailer, really, but that's what I've got, so there, get it. Okay, sockets, 6 ounces. This package is 9 by 6 by 2, maybe 1, but 2 is fine. It's going to PJ in Colorado. All right, that's 3 down. I guess I'm tackling the easiest thing first. So I got a brand new in the package vintage thermal underwear top. Here, Hanes. Is it gonna fit in here? Yeah, it'll fit in there. I think it will. Can I fold it? Yeah. So there we go. Hanes vintage thermal underwear. I don't know if it has a date on it. Some of these things, some of these older packages do have years. So I don't know how old those are, but I've had this in my shop not that long, I think, since October. I got it at my lunch break thrift store. I paid $1.50 for it. Sold it for $21.24. So that probably was a 10% offer. All right, Hanes, I'll just write on here. 13 ounces, under a pound, 10 by 7 by 3. This is going to TK in New Jersey. I guess just in time for the winter. TK is gonna be nice and warm. Okay, I have some drum heads. This is the first time I sold any drum heads in quite a while, and just yesterday, Jessica was helping me do some inventory, and we delisted all of these lots of drum heads, these smaller ones. I got tired of listing them single drum heads, and so I was trying to list them as like lots of 3 or 5 or whatever, which probably wasn't a good idea because most drummers don't have 3 or 5 drums that are all the same size, and they're not replacing them that often that they need to buy them in bulk like that. So I haven't sold any drum heads in quite a while, and I think that's probably the reason why. So I'm gonna delist all of those things and then relist them as individual items, which I don't really want to do, but I don't have much of a choice. The reason I stopped doing the individual ones is because I had so many. I have hundreds of these drum heads, and listing them one at a time was very time consuming. But I bought all these pizza boxes because I had so many drum heads, and the pizza box seemed to be the ideal shipping container. So I have a lot of these sitting around, and they don't come in that handy for other items. You know, what can I do with this except something big and flat, which I don't have that much of. So I'm gonna try to get those all listed this weekend and end them all and relist them all if I can. And I still have a lot that never got listed at all, these drum heads. They came from I got them all for free from a drum and bugle company that was cleaning out their storage space, and they just needed somebody to come and help them take things away. So I came and took as many as I could. They had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and I probably didn't even get half of what they had there, and I probably have 300 drum heads when I got them. I never really counted them, but it was a lot. There's a bunch in the closet here, the death pile closet, that need to get listed. And there's a bunch in the garage that I've never even really looked at. I kind of sorted things out by size, and that's as far as I got, the things that are in the garage. So yeah, I just got tired of listing drum heads because I had so many of them. But I was listing them at like what I would consider a low price, like less than half of retail, even though they're brand new drum heads. And they were selling like hotcakes at first, and then they just slowed down, I guess, probably because I'd made that decision to do them as lots. That's my theory anyway. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of work on those things. The other thing is, like, some of them aren't really that valuable. So these small ones are maybe like $12 or $15 a piece. So listing them all individually is kind of a pain for something that cheap. I guess I could do like packs of like an 8-inch one, a 10-inch one, and a 12-inch one or something like that, with the hope that that's the size, the variations of sizes that somebody would need. But I can't be sure what kind of setups percussionists have, so maybe it's not worth it to try that. Probably just have to list them individually and get what I can get, sell as many as I can. I could probably could just list them on Facebook Marketplace and do a big lot, you know, come and buy all of them at once. I'm sure somebody would buy those, maybe even a music store. But some of them, I have some bass drum heads in the garage, like big 30-inch drum heads. They're very expensive. Like maybe they're $200 each retail. So I just haven't listed those because I don't know how to ship a giant package that's 30 inches by 30 inches by 1 inch, you know. But it could be done, I guess. All right, what did I just drop? Something just fell behind the bench. I don't know what it was. Drum. I guess I don't need to really write on here. I know what it is. This is gonna be 3 pounds. That's the other thing, is that they're way more expensive than you would think. 21 by 21 by 2. And this is going to, where's my, these, I haven't really been going through prices that much. So let me go back through prices real quickly. CD, I guess I'm getting in a hurry. These are going to Maryland. Okay, let's start at the top. The Hanes thermal underwear, I paid $1.50, sold for $21.24. The turkey costume, I paid $12 for, and I sold it for $37 plus shipping. The Vivitar camera, I paid $3 for, sold it for $17. These were free drum heads, $37.50. And then the sockets were only $1.50. I guess they're $1.50. I sold them for $10. And then the last thing I have here is this vintage Oreck vacuum. I only listed this a couple days ago. I got it at like a church thrift store for $16.58, and it's sold for $115. But all of the accessories and stuff are just in here loose. So I'm gonna try to bubble wrap some of this stuff, and then I'm just gonna do a cardboard wrap around here. Okay, I'm almost out of bubble wrap. Maybe I just use paper. I do have a bunch of bubble wrap in the next room over there, but I don't want to. I'm running low on time, so I don't have the time to go and open a new package right now. But I can get this stuff in here pretty tight with paper. I really just don't want it bouncing around. Like, you can't really break a brush like that, so I'm not worried about damage in shipping. But we'll get a lot more paper in here to make sure none of this stuff is shaking around at all. Then I'm gonna grab the biggest of those pizza boxes and just do a wrap around this. This thing is like brand new, perfectly new condition. I think it was probably turned on to test it because the thrift store had a little note on it that said, it said brand new works. So I think they probably opened it, tested it to make sure it worked, and then sold it. So it's never really been used for vacuuming as far as I can tell. Okay, let me get one of those big boxes. Okay, so yeah, these are the largest ones I have, and I'm going to move this tape dispenser out of the way. I have this screwed down to the counter, to the workbench with a thumb screw, so I can take it out of the way when I need to make room. So like that, just screws right down. And this marker, get out of the way, get out of the way. I'm gonna move everything because this big piece of cardboard is gonna take up a lot of space. I never thought I would need a bigger bench than this, but I really could use one because, I mean, this thing feels huge. I put it all together. I built it in the backyard, put it all together, and then try to bring it down here. And it would not fit. I had to take it apart to bring it down. So I made that mistake. All right, marker. So I'm gonna do this as quickly as I can, but this will take a little bit of time. So if you're starting to get bored, you know where the fast forward button is. At the end of this video, I will go through all of these items and tell you exact profits on them after I buy shipping labels. So you'll be able to know exactly how much these items brought in profit-wise. Oh, where'd my marker go? Okay, so I'm using this perforating tool to just make lines here that will, the box will fold on, and I'll be able to get this thing smoothly wrapped around this box. And it'll look perfect-ish when it's done. Okay, now we gotta extend these all the way to the end. Could use a T-square for this to make sure these lines I'm making are all totally parallel, but I don't have one. I do have one, but it's enormous, so I couldn't use it for this. It's like I don't know what you would use it for, really. It's probably 5 feet long, maybe more. It's big. I don't even remember where I got it from. Okay, right now I'm going to cut this here and here all the way to where I folded it. Might as well do this too. This is gonna end up being a pretty nice package, I think. And it is a pretty expensive item, so we want it to go as nicely and safely as possible. $115 for a vacuum. All right, this should be the last time I need this, I think. I might have to cut another piece of cardboard in case this flap doesn't go all the way around. It's very possible that it won't. I think that's done. I say it's almost certain it's not going to get covered all the way, but it might. Okay, so this is gonna get finished pretty quickly, I think. Let's see. That's done. This is pretty much done. Put this back right in the middle. This side can fold up. It's a little bit too tall. That side's way too tall. We're gonna have to cut these. Unfortunately, that's gonna take a little extra time. These will cut too. I hope this makes sense what I'm doing. You probably can't really see it exactly how I'm planning this, but you'll see it in a second. Knife, marker. Okay, fold this, fold this, fold this, fold this. Oh, it does fit. Okay, good, perfect. I was worried that when I folded this over, it wasn't going to be long enough, but it's fine. So basically just made a normal cardboard box. A little less precise than one that comes off of a factory floor or whatever, but not too bad. Okay, let's get this side taped and then we'll deal with the other side. I'm trying to pull this as tight as possible against the box, the actual vacuum box. Okay, that was fast. That was pretty fast, I think. So got a couple more pieces of tape and then this box will be finished. That's basically it. Let's do, I lost my, I didn't put it down, my thumb screw. I'll screw that back in place later. Okay, I'm gonna buy these shipping labels and then I'm gonna come back and tell you exactly how much profit we made on each of these items. And then I'll give you, some of these things are from yesterday, some from today, so it's a little complicated, but I'll do my best to give you a daily breakdown on how much money we made today and yesterday. Okay, I got labels on all these. I'm gonna put them in one of these IKEA bags, as many as I can fit in here anyway. This won't fit, so that I can get these to the post office as quickly as possible. There's still time. It's like, I think they close at either 2 or 2:30. It's like 1:37 now, so I got to rush over there just in case they close at 2. I'm not gonna take the time to look it up. Oh, I'm having trouble getting these things in here. There we go. And then let's quickly go over these profits. So let me bring this computer over. All right, what have we got? There is two sales from yesterday. So the drum heads and the Vivitar camera were both yesterday's sales. The drum heads brought in $34.08 and the camera only $12.68. But if you add that up with everything else that sold yesterday, if you saw yesterday's videos, I would have packed all that stuff then, because that's other stuff I wanted to get out right away. Yesterday, I earned a total of $144.55. So it's better than the sales have been for most of this week. It's been a pretty slow week around here, but still not high enough. I'm trying to get over $200 a day. And then today, we just had these 3 sales. The turkey costume brought in $18.33. The Hanes thermal underwear, $17.48. And then finally that vacuum, Oreck XL Super Buster compact canister vacuum. So that's something to keep your eyes open for, old vacuums. $85.86. So today's total, $121.67. Like I said, it's not even 2 o'clock yet. So there is these might be orders coming in right now. There is a real possibility we'll get some more sales today, and hopefully this 121 will go up a little bit. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will be